Well, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Prasad, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go down that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got that thing.
No, calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
okay,
an
he's good.
erratic
Mikhail
detective,
Rodriguez.
is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, good, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Kingdom, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Good evening. Pleasant Wednesday evening for you. Let me start the program on an unusual note. In the trailer for the James Bond movie Thunderball, it went like this. Look up, look down, look out. James Bond is back. Well, the Guyanese James Bond is back, and he is carrying with him a Thunderball. 007. You have certainly sent a Thunderball down in Guyana. I think you know Leonard Craig, and I leave you in Leonard Craig's hand because I interviewed you but seven times, the same table, same studio, same chair.
Same chair.
So I think Leonard Craig, I know if he has a Thunderball to pelt at you, the way you pelt that Thunderball at certain political sections.
Thanks for coming, James. Happy to have you, and it's always good.
Yes.
And just before the program started, we myself and Freddie were saying that James Bond is one of the people we find to have a thick skin in politics and otherwise. And I think we need more politicians like James Bond. But James Bond is you in the hot seat today, you know.
But he has but don't forget he has a license to do what he wants.
So, James, I gotta ask you the question on everybody's mind. And I'm going right into it. I'm beating around the bush.
Yeah.
How you come to the position where you endorsing your finale? How you reach there?
Very, very simply, to the Guyanese viewers, it was not, although it was spontaneous in terms of how the president asked the question on the spot. But the reason why I was able to answer him on the spot as well was something that I discussed with my family months ago, sometime last year. You know, I spoke to my family, my immediate family, and I explained to them the reason why I got into politics in the first place, and started with Winston Street, Paul Murray, and even took them back to when I saw Desmond Hoyt for the first time, and I said I wanted to be president of Guyana. I always had that. As soon as I saw Desmond Hoyt, I said, "Yo, that's what I wanted to do," and politics is something that has afforded me a lot of opportunities. So I've always harbored that political ambition to serve the country via politics. And I was speaking to my mom, speaking to my dad, speaking to my sisters and brother. And I explained to them, when you don't use, you lose. If I have a certain set skills, a certain skill set to in terms of leadership, in terms of working with young people, in terms of having a vision for what I want for Guyana, a vision what I want for myself and family as well, within the context of developing Guyana. And they were clear that they would support me any which way I decided to do, or whatever I decided to do. They would have supported me. President Ali and I have maintained a friendship. When some persons are not inviting James Bond to places and to functions, he sends his invitations. If not directly, he sends them through one of his ministers or one of his other agents and says, make sure that Mr. Bond is here. Now, you got to respect someone who does that. And he's the president of this country. He doesn't have to. I told him on many occasions, sir, you don't have to. You don't need me. The PP don't need me. I don't need the PPP. You don't need me. But we're friends. So we had a conversation, and the president has never asked me to support him. He's never once asked me. He said, James, when you coming over, what you doing? You know, he's always said, though, since 2020, James, you have a place, you know, in my government. He said that since 2020. He said that. But he's never asked me to join the party, never asked me to support, never solicited my support. But he's always been a genuine friend. So I've observed the dynamics, his leadership skills. I mean, like I said, I was surprised, and I'm surprised by the way he's handled the presidency. He's handled it with grace. He's handled it with intellect. He's handled it with strength. And leadership takes strength, and he's led. Who could says he's not led? So I see people saying that they're criticizing him, saying he's not a leader, he's a puppet. And I'm saying, you don't have a. You're probably blind if you don't see evidence of his imprint, evidence of his leadership on the country. These are not the decisions he's making. It's clear that this is his vision in terms of infrastructure, in agriculture, in oil and gas. I could name it. And the world recognizes it. So these are the discussions I had with my family. And I decided on two avenues, two courses of action. One, to work within the PNC, because it's always been my vision to be with the PNC. And at some point, now Robert Pasal could attest to this. We were saying, yo, you got to stay with the PPP, I got to stay with the PNC. And sometime we bring them together back as how Burnham and Chetty was. Because we got to build the trust in this country between the two parties. The trust is deteriorating, and I think we have to build back the trust between the PP Civic and the PNC. That's critical for the nation's growth. That's always been my vision and still remains my vision. So the idea was to stay within the PNC, work within the dynamics of the PNC, and at the same time forge alliances with the People's Progressive Party Civic. So at any time that I were to ascend to leadership in the PNC, I will always have a friend to work with on the in the PPP Civic. So that has always been with that one angle. The other aspect of it is the window. There is always a window of opportunity. There's always a window in which you have an opportunity to do something special, do something great, do something that defines your legacy politically. And to work with the PPP Civic in this juncture, work with President Ali at this time in 2025, where we're seeing unprecedented growth. I'm 45 years to be 46 in a matter of weeks, 2 weeks or so. And I've never seen the country advance so quickly, so much. So quickly, so far, so fast. I have not seen it since in Guyana. And everyone is seeing it. Those who don't see it, well, again, like they're probably blind. But in terms of infrastructure, in terms of agriculture, you see the hospitals, the schools. You see the country moving at a I don't want to say breakneck speed, but a rate comparable to first world. And I wanted to be a part of this at this time, to have some say, because again, what you don't use, you lose. And I want to put my skill sets into practice in terms of inspiring young people. For example, I've already started bringing in young entrepreneurs, that just like the president's vision is to empower the next generation of young people in business and agriculture. I'm working with that right now. We have about, so far in our group, we have about 14, roughly 14 young persons now working on getting their own businesses up and running. They'll have their own ideas to get their compliances and get everything done, and to start getting into areas of construction, agriculture, property maintenance and management, plumbing, you name it. They've decided these are the parts I want to. I have a meeting just with someone who wants to start a lab, a biomed lab. So this is so many young people that are getting involved in business. That's always been my passion. And so to be a part of that twofold, is that you could do this whilst with the People's Progressive Party civic government.
Most of what you spoke of are pull factors. What attracted you to Irfan Ali? You did not mention so much the PPP.
I did mention the PPP.
No, you did mention the PPP
yeah.
in a sense working together, but you haven't spoken of pull factor to the PPP. But you spoke more about President Ali. How do you situate this whole thing in that?
In my view, in my reasoning, and I explained this to a senior politician, when I say President Ali and his government, I'm speaking about the People's Progressive Party civic. I don't think you can divorce the two. Except you get into semantics.
I just wanted to
get into semantics.
I just wanted to get the semantics out of the way.
Yeah, right. I'm not playing with words here.
All right, good.
And there's no need to play words.
Normally play with words.
I don't play with words. I'm speaking clear. When I say it's a PPP civic government, so it's not a new government.
I just wanted to.
So when I say President Ali and his government,
you're referring to.
I'm speaking to the People's Progressive Party civic. I'm not dicing words here.
So that is the pull factor. Were there any push factors with respect to the APNU, PNC, PNCR?
Again, if I'm to make a decision, if I make my decision without any angst, without any feeling of ill will, and that's why you'll never hear me say anything negative of the People's National Congress reform. You'll never hear me say anything negative about APNU. You'll never hear me say anything negative about AFC, because the reason to support is not based on a negative impulse not to support. Insofar, let me make it clear again. The reason why I'm supporting President Ali and his government, the PP civic government, is not a reason. The reason to do so is not because I don't like the PNC or don't like AFC. So, whether there were no push factors from the PAPNU or PNC to leave. There were no whatever the PNC does, whatever its leadership does, it's within its own right. It's I'm okay with whatever they do. If they say at the end of the day, look, we don't trust James Bond, we don't like James Bond, we don't this James Bond, that's okay with me. It never came down to anything personal, and I would never take it personal. You know, I don't have a problem with Cromwell Norton or anybody. If I have a problem with anybody, I'll be saying it, but I don't have a problem with a single soul in the PNC or APNU.
Have you left the PNC?
I have not resigned from the PNC, and
Will you?
I told the leader, I says my decision to support. I don't want it ever to be viewed as I'm leaving the PNC to go to the PPP civic. I'm an anomaly. Let me put it this way: I'm an anomaly.
Maverick.
I've always been that. If people know me, they know I have a brand called Anomaly. That has been me. I recognize I was different years ago. I realized I don't think like everybody else. I said, James, I like this about you. And I thank God how he made me different. I don't like to fit into boxes and molds.
You don't like to be compartmentalized.
I don't like it at all. So I realized that about myself. So I find myself being different, and I relish in being different. I told the leader, we did speak, and I said very clear, I'm not resigning from the PNC. Y'all probably got to read me out. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm supporting President Ali and the PPC now, so I'm leaving y'all. I'm not going to do that. If at the end of the day, persons ask me I'm going to be on this slate, on the list of candidates and all that, I got a phrase called singularity of purpose. My main goal is to work with the People's Progressive Party civic, to work with President Ali, to win the next elections. That's my single goal. What happens after then? Like I said, and I told the leadership of the PPC, I have my own ambitions. I have my own plans. And it's not I'm here to say, oh, you have to give me. That's why I don't want anybody to feel, oh, you gotta get James Bond this and you gotta get James Bond that. I'm capable and competent of working for whatever I want. But again, the end of the day is President Ali has showed me a loyalty that only Walter Lawrence would have shown. Only Walter Lawrence, and I make this without any claim, only Walter Lawrence would show that kind of political loyalty. And you find in politics there are not a lot of loyal people. They tend to use you.
You better believe it.
Yeah, they tend to use you, and when they finish using you, it's like you're in the dustbin now.
You're discarded.
You're the dustbin, and if you look at it with the contributions I would have made to politics in Guyana, somebody said, James, you should start saying what you did, all that you did, and let me understand that you were no slouch. You weren't lazy. You contributed of your time, your money, your resources. You brought people to the party. As a matter of fact, there was one time in City Hall. If there were 14 councillors, I recruited 9. From Ubraj right down. Ubraj, all of them I recruited. Sherrod Duncan, I had him doing a television program for me. I think the 2012 election, 2015, one of those things. He was doing a TV program for me. Our time. So many, I could name drop so many people that I brought to politics. I could say how much money I would have given to the party and the politics. I could say how many rallies and meetings I played critical parts in organizing, the amount of people that came to PNC because of me. I could say how much campaigns I run and areas that I would have run and groups I would have formed. And the amount of places I go to in Guyana, all because of the Positive Party. And apparently, people tend to think that this boy James Bond only got shot. But me being shot is just 100 or 1,000 of the contributions I made to politics in Guyana. And I'm not talking about local politics, I'm national politics. So, when you don't use, you lose. And given what I know I can do, if I'm not being utilized, I need to be utilized. You see, there's a creative element to all of us. And if we stop working, if we stop moving, that part of us dies. So I do not want my political fire to die.
That is...
I do not want my political fire to die.
That's a subtle job at the PNC. You don't have to say anything. That's my statement. You were talking about something, and it brought to mind that AFC released a statement on me. And part of the statement AFC released said I was discarded. And then it came to mind when you were talking about people use you, and when they ain't got no more time for you, they discard you.
You're talking about the John B. last
And AFC said in print that I am a discard. So...
you were dispensable. James, there are some complex emanations from you since the program started, and we have to go through this labyrinth, this maze. On the one hand, you've made an unambiguous statement there that you would like to play a part in facilitating a second term for the PPP. Is it not logical for the PNC leadership and those that are your friends that you've made along the way to say, well, this man doesn't want us to win the elections. He wants Ali to win the elections. I think it's time we ask him where he stands. You don't think that will come out from the PNC leadership? Your presence and what you will do in the coming months as we lead the election will not cause the PNC to win the election.
That's true. And I'm comfortable with that. Again, I'm comfortable with President Ali being re-elected and no one else being president. I'm extremely comfortable with that. That's what I want to happen.
James.
Let him finish.
That's what I'm working towards. So if Tom, Dick, Harry, Jennifer, Joe have a problem with that, that's their problem. I want to see President Ali there at 2025, winning the election. That's what I want. That's what I'm working towards.
James, the question I'm asking you now is not whether, from my side, not whether I agree or disagree. I'm asking you a question because it needs to be asked. Isn't there some contradiction in what you're saying based on positions you've taken just weeks before, probably even days before you were on this program just 2 weeks ago? And you eulogized Norton. What I'm trying to find out is if you had a dream. You said you spoke with your family, this, that, and that, and it seems as though you were transitioning. What made the difference?
You're talking about the road to Damascus
right.
thing?
What's the last straw? What is the road to Damascus? That's one. And two, you said Valda Lawrence was extremely faithful to your relationship, loyal to your political relationship.
And
what does she think about your decision, and have you spoken to her about it?
I can answer the last question first.
Yeah.
Kamala Lawrence is extremely supportive of my decision. She's supportive of me.
And she
is supportive of me.
She wants you.
You realize what you're saying?
She wants you to say that.
Do you realize what you're saying?
Are you comfortable?
Can I say this here?
Okay.
Can I say this here?
All right, let him.
The relationship I have with Kamala Lawrence is, I call her my mom, my mother. It's not political mother. She's not my political mother. She's not. She's my mother. And she's my mother in every sense of the word. She may not have birthed me, but that is my mother, and she loves her son. She loves her son. She supports her son.
She respects your decision.
She respects my decision.
All right.
But on
the next part of the question.
The next question. There was no road to Damascus. There's no light blinding or shining light saying, "Oh, you persecute the PP. Now come and work with the PP." I never had that moment. I think everything is logical. It may not be. We may not be able to speak and express it as a commentator was ball by ball. For example, today you say, "Oh, I'm with the PPP." Tomorrow you with the PNC. "Oh, I don't like the PNC today. I like the PP tomorrow." It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like, "Oh, the PP Civic come and says, 'Oh, well done,' and you come with." No, I don't operate like that. I could, whatever the PP Civic does, and I said this again. I said this to President Ali. You don't really need me. You don't need me. And I said this the PP Civic would win the election without James Bond. Let's get it out of the way. They would win the election without James Bond. So James Bond isn't bringing anything special to the PP Civic.
They could increase the parliamentary seats because of James Bond.
That's a different question. But they don't need a James Bond to win an election. That's the first thing. James Bond does not need the PP Civic to thrive. I don't survive. I thrive. I succeed. I don't need the PP Civic to succeed at whatever I do. My mindset is a never say die mindset, never quit mindset. Get what you want and what you desire. I work hard. So I don't need, if you check my financial records, before announcing to the people support President Ali, I'm doing very well. I'm doing extremely well. Without a single government contract, without a single government contract, I am doing extremely well. God has been good to me. So there's no light blinding. Oh, now I wake up and see the light and all of that. I'm saying I've observed what is being done in the country. I see the development. I want to play a role. Do I wait until the PNC wins to play a role? And understand American first world politics here. They are allowed to play whatever roles they can play, irrespective of who is in power. The Democrats and the Republicans, they will do their work as politicians, irrespective of who's in power. In Guyana, we tell people, wait until we get in power to get certain things done.
Let me ask you this question.
No, let me finish that point.
Okay, all right, good.
There's a mindset that when you're in opposition, you're supposed to be pauperized. You're supposed to remain paupers. You're not engaged in government for your community. Your community isn't supposed to get any government help. If they do get government help, then they're seen as Nimacaramas or house slaves or slave catchers or house Negroes. So you're supposed to confine yourself to a state of opposition, a state of dormancy.
Impoverished opposition.
Because of, you're in opposition right now. And I'm saying that's not the game I want. I want to see all the communities play a part and be developed, whether or not who is in power. So again, I want to play a part in what is being done now. I'm not going to wait until Tom choose call. Your turn to bat, Mr. Bond. Come up. No, I don't live like that. Or your turn to play a role on Mr. Bond. No. I seize the bull by its horns. I take my life and my destiny into my own hands. So I'm going to play a part in Guyana, a role in Guyana, the development of Guyana. And if that lasts for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years, I'm in it for the long haul. If the People's Progressive Party Civic decides, look, I'm going to stay on this trajectory where I take care of the young people, I take care of the hinterland, I take care of agriculture and infrastructure, then they're going to have James Bond for a very long time.
But what you've said just instantly led to a question that must be asked. I've had you about 8 times on this program, and I have done that not out of personal friendship. I have done that because I feel that you have a following out there, and therefore the program will be looked at. That position has been justified because, inbuilt into all TV programs, these programs, social media, is a rating factor. You see the ratings, you see, right, and you have had a following on this program. Obviously, Ali knows that. Obviously, there are players in the society that know that. So Ali then says to you, I believe Dr. Ali is going to win the elections. I can't conceive, I don't know by what majority, but I think he has shaped his politics and ridden so strikingly that I think he will win the election. But he's going to say it to you unless you say it to him first. I think knowing him and his nationalist approach and this legacy he's building, I think he's going to say it to you, which is what he said to me. I'm telling you, I wrote about this. He said to me, what is it that you would like, role or position you would like in your country? He did say to me, I declined because of age. I said, no, man, whatever should be done should be given to a younger person. You much younger than me, so he's going to say that to you. I want to hear what he is going to say that to you. It's not if he says that to you. He's going to say that to you after November 2025 when he gets into his second term. The viewers would like to know, when you and him sit down across the sofa, as I did in State House, what are you going to say to him? Let the viewers hear that.
No, but I did say from the beginning, he said since 2020 that he
but I want you to go to specifics.
Yeah, that's what he says to me. Twice he said this to me. He says, James, you have a place with me and in my government. He said that to me twice. 2020 he said it. Last year I think he said it. He says, James, you'll always have a place. But again, I'm about service, Comrade Kissoon.
Please answer the question.
No, I'm answering the question. I don't think, I know I want to be at the end of it all. And if the president says, James, where do you want to go? I don't think I could give an answer. I don't think I could. I would tell him where best you think I could suit for service. I don't think I could give an answer. I want it. No, I'm not that kind of person.
All right, but
I'm never that person.
What areas you want to work in to project Guyana into the future, to see that it has a stable, placid, meaningful future? If you ask a lawyer, he will tell you about the legal system. If you ask an economist, he will tell you what he wants to see in the budget. What do you, politician / lawyer, maverick, what do you want to work in? I think it's important you say that now President Ali is going to look at the program. I think you.
Now you're gonna make me not answer. Now you're gonna make me not answer.
Then if you don't, you're going to disappoint the viewer.
Then you know
Then you're gonna disappoint the viewer.
when you're gonna put that
You're gonna
kind of,
disappoint the
when you're
viewer.
gonna try.
But it's a bit.
Yeah. No, you're gonna make me not
That's a
answer. No, but I'm gonna say this to you very clearly. My skills are really mobilization. Mobilization organization. Those are my skills. Whether or not that transforms to a position or a post, I don't think. But you set me a task in terms of mobilizing, organizing. That's where I find my most passion out in the fields. Like
you've always been a street man. You've always been a street man.
So you have me in a situation whereby, you got this plan, you got this program, you want to pull together a team and execute it. That's me right there. If I show you my phone, that's most of my day is I come with a business plan, a business idea. I pull about 3 or 4 people, say, this is my plan. How do we do this? Do a business plan, get key people, pull together arc. This is what we're going to work for. That is my kind of way.
This program here is going to be the most important program in terms of what it has recorded for history. This very program, you remember, you may be very well after 2025 working for him.
Freddie, stop with the ridiculous now.
Again,
right?
What is ridiculous?
No, again.
Ali says clearly, I want to reach out to all types of demographics. This country, 74% of it under 42 or between 16 and 45. And I think Ali knows. You can make a contribution. You've been writing very good columns in the Chronicle, putting the government in good light. You very well educated, very well. And I think Ali is going to reach out to you, and you and James Bond could work together. Yeah.
I work with anybody but the devil.
In partnership.
Yeah, I work with anybody but the devil. So that's not a problem.
But before he comes in, this is quickly. You did say in this program there's a man you respect very much because of what he's done for you. I want to know if you consulted him. You consulted your sociological mother, Walter Lawrence. Did you go to Uncle Mo and tell Uncle Mo?
No, Uncle Mo's. Not Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo's.
Oh yes, Mo's.
No, I don't.
Uncle Mo's.
Uncle Mo's is someone I'm fond of, but that's someone I need to consult.
Okay.
Well,
that's clarification.
In the man that I would consider, if he had a problem, what I did is Brigadier Eddie Collins. If Brigadier Eddie Collins had an issue with what I did, then I would have a pause. I would have pause.
Have you spoken to him?
Yeah, we had some messages, and we're supposed to meet up and take a drink.
And he said, okay.
And again, the people that matter to me have no issue with my decision. The people that matter to me, they have no issue with my decision because they know what I stand for.
James, on the lighter side, before I go into a heavy question just after, this morning when I was putting on my clothes, my wife asked me who we have on the program today. And I said James Bond. And she said, the man get a slight resemblance of Aubrey Norton, you got the same built thing. And so I want to know if you're related.
No,
we're not related.
Oh, okay.
I want to ask you, Leonard Craig, which of the James Bond you think he has a closer resemblance? Let's go through it. Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, Pierre Brosnan,
Miss Roger Moore.
Roger Moore.
Roger Moore is the best James.
And the new guy.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
I
think it's Connery.
They're supposed to be Idris Elba. I think they're going Idris next.
Yeah,
I think it's Connery.
Well, good looks has never been my forte. So you're flattering me there. Sean Connery is one of the more good-looking ones.
You got the from here on is a little. I said
Freddie.
I said of all the James Bonds.
Probably George Lazenby.
Right.
George Lazenby. Yeah.
James, on social media so on,
he gets some John B. lashes.
You are being ridiculed
criticize.
Criticized
Not
and ridiculed. Ridiculed.
Well, ridicule is a loaded term. Somebody could abuse you out. Ridicule is acknowledgement that you have been humiliated. I don't think Rick Football can anybody pay attention to what they said. He has been attacked. I would say ridicule.
All right. If that is your interpretation of the word, that wasn't mine, but yeah. All right. And some of the people, some of the names, when I look on Facebook, some of the names, some of these people were purportedly very close to you inside the PNC. And they feel betrayed.
Give
by
me
your
one name.
decision.
Give me one name.
I'm not going to give you a name.
No, you can't tell the man that. No, you got to give him a name. That's the problem with journalism.
Yeah.
In journalism, when you say an incident occurred and a doctor saw it, or a lawyer saw it, you know what people say? You lie. You just say a doctor or a lawyer. That is why for history, I like to call names and be specific.
Who?
All right. Hold on. I don't want to be specific.
One or two names.
But then,
I don't want to be specific.
Don't answer
Give me
questions.
I can show you on I can show you on Facebook. But hold on. Follow the question I'm asking here. Okay. I don't know if these people are close to you, but I saw people known from the PNC who made adverse comments. That's one. And two, there are other people who are supporters. They might not have been members of the PNC, but there's clear supporters who are aggressive against your decision, even calling you things like house slave, soup drinker, this, that, and all. You know all the labels. How do you feel about that? How do you transcend that?
Okay, when he's answering, go into your phone and get the names.
If I say if I say I'm bothered or it affects me, what anybody thinks of me, I'm a liar. I'm an absolute liar. The truth is not within me. If I say whatever Tom, Dick, Harry, Jennifer, or Joan thinks of me, outside of Grace, June Bond, Leslie Bond, Janelle Bond, Joel Bond, Joanne Bond, Christiana Ross,
your family,
Vala Lawrence, outside of that, Jahasi Bond, I am an absolute liar.
Uncle Moose.
I don't live for opinions. I don't live for opinions and live for critics and live for haters.
But, James, that is a contradiction in terms because once you're in politics, you have to consider the opinion of the masses and probably tailor your policies.
No.
I could deal with this. Uncle Freddie, I could deal with this. Uncle Freddie, I could deal with this.
No, hold on. Freddie, I don't have to agree with the question I'm asking. A question is for James to answer.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Let me stop you. A lion does not concern himself with the opinion of sheep. If I'm a lion, if you're a lion, you don't concern yourself with the opinion of the sheep. If I'm going to kill the gazelle can't tell me where to bite him. I'll devour him. I'm a leader. Leaders lead. I lead the masses, not the masses leading me. So for you to tell me, oh, Tom, Dick, Jennifer, and Joan is criticizing me, two people I know. And the first person, I called him, Ruel Johnson. He criticized me. I haven't spoken to Ruel in years. Never shared a drink.
Over your decision?
Yes, on his Facebook page.
Of your decision?
Yes, man. Telling me that I have to confess about rigging before I come over to the PVP Civic. So I called Ruel because when I went to President's College together, Ruel and I went to Tocqueville Assemblies of God Church together. Ruel, when I wrote my first book for the Guyana Prize for Literature, Ruel edited me. He edited my book. Sat with me. This is years ago I'm talking about here. 15 years, more than 15 years. As I called Ruel, and I spoke to Ruel, and I was very disrespectful and harsh with Ruel, because I'm saying you have
the effort.
There were a few of those.
Several instances.
There were a few of those because this is someone who I worked with who I think knows James Bond. I said, Ruel, you actually think I rig election? You actually think me, James Bond, had a hand in rigging an election? I must confess to some rigging before I support President Ali? I said, something is wrong with you, Ruel. I said, you will wait a long time for that. So he's one person I called, the only person I called. because I'm saying this is a man I was in President's College with. And I say, you want to be a gatekeeper? Because you criticized the PP Civic and then went over the PP Civic. You were one of the harshest critics. Nobody put no loops for you to jump through before you support the PP Civic. I said, no, you stand as a gatekeeper telling James Bond he has to do this before he do that. I said, you got the wrong person, sir. So he's the only person I called. Because I think he should have had the courtesy to say, well, Bond, X, Y, or Z. Why did he mean it? But the
X,
rest,
Y, and Z.
Yeah, X, Y, and Z. But the rest of them. Now I learned certain people said certain things like, Uncle Freddie, tell me if I see it or if I see it. Yes, I ain't gonna call that. Look,
Wickford Burke.
Let me give you an example.
Wickford Burke was nasty.
Let me give you an
And you should
example.
be
You
proud
know
to-
this person. Don't call name, please. But you know this person.
if I say no, the person.
But why? No. But
James,
no.
this is a standing,
No, James, call the name.
member from Region 3,
If that person will go on
Standing
Facebook,
PNC.
James,
but
call
I-
the name.
Do
That
I have a
Facebook
relationship
is
with that
public.
person?
Facebook is public.
Do I have a-
Why are you hiding it from the
Have I
viewers?
ever sat with this person, have a conversation with this person? This you gotta understand.
Okay. Well, then,
A lot of critics, a lot of people are criticizing and saying I should not do this, I should not do that. I've never had a personal conversation with them. They've never called me on any issue. We've never sat down and have a cup of coffee. We don't have a relationship.
Okay.
So how could you now criticize the decision that I would have made?
Okay.
I don't get it.
All right. My next
I don't get it.
question. Based on your definition, I understand what you're saying, right? But I was just saying that these people, regardless of how you look at it, they were your comrades in the PNC. They felt offended by what you did, and then they became aggressive in their commentary, right? And I am saying, you should not, in my opinion, you should not take that lightly. I think I hear what you say about other people's opinion because they have not had a drink with you and what have you. But my thing is this: if you feel persuaded in your decision, you have to persuade others and not dismiss their hurt and their concern, because when you're in politics, regardless of how you look at it, people come to love you. And then they come to be disappointed by decisions that you make or don't make. And I am just saying that you should probably partially review some of that opinion you just expressed.
But he gave us justification for his position in the opening stage of the interview. He said, look, I saw life this way. I saw my life going this way. He gave us justification in his opening.
No. Let me say this here as a politician, right?
Right.
One of the first lessons that Aubrey Norton taught me in politics was you got to know your own politics, meaning you got to know yourself. You can't be a politician if you're not sure yourself. If it's one, I'm not arrogant. Don't think I'm arrogant and I don't have I'm devoid of emotion. And I can't feel empathy. I can't understand people being hurt over a decision someone else has made, even though they're not connected to the person. I understand that.
Good.
All right. But you have to know that you can't let emotions, especially these wild emotions, dictate your decision-making process. The criticisms of my decision, they're wild, they're baseless, they're vacuous.
Right.
For simple reasons. I asked them, did they ever advocate for a greater involvement of James Bond in the party structure? You know, when I went on some walkabouts, people used to ask what James Bond doing here.
PNC people.
Yeah, asking what James Bond doing here. So the name you share there, they share at any time saying, no, why y'all ain't bringing in James Bond? What y'all doing with this guy? So you have no time with James Bond for 5 years. And all of a sudden James Bond says, you know something, I doing X, and all of a sudden you remember James Bond to cuss him? But you keep your cuss.
Right.
You keep your cuss. So I'm not gonna any time allow wild, baseless emotions.
All right. Next question, James. PPPC has been constantly attacked and accused of being racist and using black people to get to an end. That and some of the accusation are poisonous almost. How do you reconcile those things? And you coming from a party that is want to represent Afro interests. How do you reconcile that accusation and your involvement, and then people feel that you will be trampled upon to an end with no real substance to your involvement in the PPP?
Let me preface by saying there are racists in every single political party.
Mm-hmm.
In every single political party in Guyana, you have racists. And we need to weed them out. We need to get rid of them. I could say this for a fact, that the persons I've had connections with in the People's Progressive Party Civic, they're not racist. Absolutely not racist. And proof is in the pudding. I got a call a few mornings ago. After I made my decision, I've gotten calls. The first call I got is from a young man from, I'm not going to say this profession, because I think they'll guess is who. I'll say this profession, but I'm not what he's from. He's an attorney. Works in his community, mobilizing, doing everything. He says, James, I'm with you. And I have all these names here. We're with you. We support your decision. I have another call from a former national football captain. He says, James, I'm with you. I'm ready to work. These are all Afro-Guyanese, by the way. I received more calls from Afro-Guyanese than Indo-Guyanese. I've only received about 2 or 3 calls from Indo-Guyanese saying, James, we're with you. 2 or 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 in total. But I have over 50 from Afro-Guyanese. As a matter of fact, some of these young people form themselves into a group already and said you're ready to work whenever you're ready to work. So you're telling me that these guys are seeing racism from the PP Civic and want to join the PP Civic? I'm going to tell people straight, and I've said it before. The proof is in the pudding. I've seen Afro-Guyanese benefit on the People's Progressive Party Civic. I've seen that. Afro-Guyanese need to stop listening to people telling them about racism and go try to see it for yourself. You go and apply and develop and get close and see for yourself and then speak about it. But don't let a madman or 2 on social media to tell you that there's racism. Because I'm telling you this here. When they do that, they want to keep you away from what you have to do.
What's the term Aubrey Norton used? Wild men.
That was Corbyn's term, actually.
Oh, Corbyn, yeah. Corbyn,
he's the
sorry.
person that coined that. Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of wild and mad men who tell you the fire is hot and it's bad and it's terrible. Are you afraid?
Yeah.
When you could just simply go. They're not in the fire. They never went there. They never did anything. Let them show you what they've built. But they're telling you now that, you know what, keep away from the People's Progressive Party Civic because they're racist. And when you see all these young people building roads, you see all these young people building houses, you see all these young entrepreneurs in oil and gas.
Some who are fierce critics of the PPP getting contract, James.
And even people who are not critics. For example, I see people criticizing certain entertainers who went and get contracts to do roads. And I'm gonna tell you something. I feel so happy because I know the other side want to do it for them.
Yeah.
Jump high, jump low. Somehow, and I get the most criticism when I get from my own people than anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's not something I'm proud of or happy to say. But people see me drive a particular vehicle, I get more hate from the other side than the other side. As if I'm not supposed to have certain things. If I were to purchase a property, the other side gonna say, is me side gonna say, oh, we get money from you drugs, you get money from Mohammed, you get, like I don't work. Like I've not been alive for 20-something years. It's not like I don't get up 4 o'clock in the morning and go about my job. It's like everything has come from people for James Bond. Oh, boycott. Oh, the other side. I've never heard no people say boycott James Bond business yet. I've never heard of people say boycott James Bond business. But before I even joined the PPP Civic, I hear people see me post up with a picture with this minister, the minister. Oh, boycott the business. They always want to cancel you. And they always want to demonize you. And I tell, I'm good, I'm happy. I tell them continue. I love you for that. You know why I say I love them for that? Because I was where they were. I was calling for boycotts too. I was telling people that, oh, you're a house slave and you shouldn't join the PPP. I was looking at life through those lenses because of what I heard. But you got to realize after a point you have to be mature. So I've reached a place whereby every man has a right to decide his own destiny. And it's not my place to put you in a box because of your race or because of what you believe politically. You have every right to pursue. If you want to go join the PPP, PNC, AFC, that's your right.
You have a bad memory. You said about 3 Indians called you. I know an Indian that called you that you have mentioned who's sitting down next to you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, Uncle Freddie.
The man put you in no racial box.
No, I don't. You know, the thing is, I don't see Uncle Freddie. No, that's a good father. I don't see race, you know. I tell people how I grew up. It's like, I only know it was black till I come to tongue. I y'all tongue people with this race thing. I was in the Northwest doing so well with my Armenians, my Indians, and my Chinese people. And I didn't know I was a black man till I come to tongue and y'all start telling me about black people and Indian people and that kind of thing. So it is still in me. I don't see it. You sit down, I don't notice you as a, oh, this, notice you when you notice you that. I don't do it still, you know. So Uncle Freddie is one of the persons also that called and gave me a word of encouragement. And I think right-minded people see that, you know, James, not only do you deserve to make your own decision, but the decision makes sense. You know, that's the thing. It's not that, oh, you can make your own decision. You can give that right to anybody. I'm not gonna say, look, I go in and smoke cocaine, smoke this, smoke that. And the man says, your decision, you're a big man, you can make your own decision. But when somebody can assess and analyze the decision, says, look, it makes sense. Then you say, yes, I made the right choice. And the persons I know who connected to me, who know me, they've all said, James, this decision makes sense. Based on where you are now, you're 45, you've given all this contribution to Guyana, to the PNC, to APNU. Your decision makes sense. You want to go to another level. It makes sense. I'm not about being stagnated. It makes sense. It's time for another level.
Right.
I'm talking too much, no?
No. It's your show today. It's you, the people who want to hear from you. You realize we say much. We just allow you to do what you know, because we believe
THUNDERBALL.
Because we believe that thing.
Another thing, let me just say this here too.
Go ahead.
When I went and met with Dr. Barjack deal, I said a post when I got into politics. We started to think a little. You know, we don't give credit to a lot of people in terms of being strategic politically. And I think that was one decision. Like we had a conversation. He liked to say, James, you are a point. You and Kwame actually started out almost simultaneously around the political spheres. And Kwame is now a minister in government. And, you know, and I think he was playing not only my ambition when he said it, right? But and I understand where he was coming from strategically. There's a point in time where that window to be what you want to be to go, whether you want to admit it or not. I can't become a surgeon now. I can't become a nurse. I could try, but my hands might be shaking by the time I'm finished. So there is a window. You know, and I want Joseph. I must give credit to two persons I think helped me in my logic is Joseph Hamilton, Minister Joseph Hamilton, and the Council Vice President Barjack. Is that they put things into a perspective of time and context. You know, and like you gotta look when you look at yourself, contextually where are you, and make that decision based based on what is in front of you?
I just want to go back a little to a question I asked you earlier. Those people who were looking to you, and I'm just putting it over this way, all right? You could work with the semantics and so on. Those people who were looking to you for leadership, but in the other party, what can you look at them, look at the camera straight, and not necessarily attempt to convince them, but explain why they should have a change of heart, even if it's not against the PNC or against the party, but why they should have a change of heart towards people who choose your path and your direction, because there will be others. I can promise you that.
I can say very clearly. Let me answer that question a different way.
Right.
I still provide leadership for persons in the PNC.
Okay.
I still provide leadership for them. I will always provide leadership for them. I know I could better serve them. Whereas they have their MPs and whoever not serving their interests, they could call on Comrade Bond now quite easily. And I tell people I can't walk through a door and not bring people along with me. Mm-hmm. So if you had leaders who were afraid to petition and ask for what you rightly deserve, a better quality of life, better wages, amenities, part and parcel with natural patrimony, having a share in it, easy access to the corridors of government. I'm now better able to serve you and serve your interests. And I will use whatever influence I have to get that done for my PNC comrades. At the end of the day I think the vision of Comrade Ali is not to separate, I'm serving this half of Guyana or serving that half of Guyana. I think he wants to serve the whole of Guyana. So as much as he could have persons like myself from the PNC to work with, we could reach quarters that a PPP person may not be able to reach because of the enclave, because of the tribalism, etc. So having a PNC person working together with the executive, working together with the people, it serves the interest of his vision. And if persons see that or understand that, but not because I'm working with him means now I'm not working. It means now I have to work more for my PNC comrades, because now they're looking to me and says, Lord, good, you're there now, James. I have issue with my house lot. I have an issue with my water. I have an issue with my light. I have an issue with my children's education, my health. And Minister Madikchan could see I think the day after my endorsement, somebody messaged me about a concern, and right away I was able to forward it to Minister Madikchan, and she was able to address it. And that's the kind of leadership that or PNC comrades are. But because people want to keep away from the PPP Civic, they don't want to be seen shaking hands with them. They don't want to see with them. They want to be seen engaging them. And they're not providing the leadership. They're not providing the leadership that our comrades need. You know, you need to engage. You need to reach out. You need to have that kind of correlation with the other side, with the government. It's basic politics.
Let me put forward this theory to you. I think it's more theory in psychology rather than sociology and politics. I was working at a very, very sensitive level with the Grenada government when the two leaders fell apart, Bernard Code and Maurice Bishop, when they began to disagree. And the thing that went astray was insecurity. Based on what they were saying separately, insecurity was generated in each other. You're a high-profile person in politics. If you are approached by other substantial names in the PNC, and then in March, in April, some of these names come over, don't you feel it would be logical for the PNC to feel insecure, and that could lead in areas that are unacceptable to you? I'm talking about security-wise.
I don't quite see it materializing, you know. I don't quite see it materializing. There will always be those insecurities, but again, on a level where it reaches to a point it threatens security, I don't see that happening.
People do crazy things with political power.
No, but I don't see that happening if it is a question whereby there's a shift.
If you keep
If there's a
proselytizing, or converting some big names.
Again, I don't see it leading to a problem with security.
Okay.
Because the people that I think...
It's not the leadership, it's the underling. When you're passing down the road, say, look, it's the underling.
Again, I do not see it happening.
Have you ever?
I do not see it happening.
Have you received any aggressive thing from the people in the streets?
No, man.
Comments or anything like that?
If I tell you,
he's a big man in Melanie.
If I tell you, not Melanie, I walk.
I'm talking anywhere. Because
everywhere I go,
I often see you in What's the place name again?
Bamba Mali?
No, next to Main Street there. I pass and see you there a couple of times, man.
Hotel Tower.
The community. Tiger Bay.
I wasn't Tiger up till last night.
No, so all I'm asking is ordinary people, because sometimes people just pass.
You drink at Bamba Mali?
Put their head out a minibus or a car and say something.
Can I say this here? I've gotten nothing but love from the general public. I'm Uncle James. And I'm Father James. So I'm a ghetto youth.
Okay.
I've never had anybody.
Uncle 007.
Yeah, I'm Uncle James.
This man just go to Tiger Bay and just sit down, you know.
The operator signal. The operator signal what time has come.
Yeah, so
James.
No, I got one. I really got a question
quickly.
James, just in closing quickly. I gotta ask you this question. I'm not asking you necessarily to criticize if you're not comfortable, but I gotta
you got
ask
a thick skin. Come on.
I gotta ask you about Aubrey Norton.
Yeah.
There is a semi-exodus, which I feel will continue until election, from the PNC. Isn't that speaking something of the leadership of Aubrey Norton?
No, like I said, I would never criticize Aubrey Norton. But
you can evaluate.
No, I will never say anything negative about Aubrey Norton and President Ali. I will never ever.
Well, we could end on that.
Yeah, I will never ever.
We can end on
no, if I'm going to say anything.
We can end on that. No, don't embarrass the man.
Okay. No.
We're going to end it. Right. He's trying to bait you.
Yeah,
he's trying to bait you.
Not only bait me, but...
No, but our time is coming. We're going to end on that note.
Just
Just a couple of seconds and then we go.
Yeah.